the party master on Up and Go, The Bridge, 99 FM.
You know what day it is? You might be out there saying, okay, it's Thursday, November 25? But more than that, it's Thanksgiving Day 2021. Oh yeah, happy Thanksgiving to those who celebrate like that today. And here we are on Up and Go until 11 o'clock. And we are also giving thanks. Time for the headlines across the bridge. A number of commanders have said that since the government imposed states of emergency S.O.Es in 7 police divisions 2 Sundays ago, more residents have been feeding them with information as the gangsters flee the space. The disclosure was made on Wednesday at a Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF Stakeholders Forum dubbed Policing in a Pandemic of Violence as part of activities to mark Police Week 2021. The police sought to build their case for the efficacy of the S.O.Es as the Senate meets today to debate the extension of the security measure beyond its initial 14-day period. After garnering the votes by sheer might of government numbers in the lower house, at least one opposition member must vote with 13 counterpart senators to ratify the bid. But the overall landscape shows no improvement, with nationwide murders now trending 11% higher year on year. And the government is seeking a single opposition vote in the Senate to pass extension of S.O.Es. Having approved the provisions of the National Identification and Registration Act, NIRA, after a lengthy debate last Friday, the Senate will now focus or refocus on the issues of the latest states of emergency S.O.Es, which were approved in the House of Representatives on Tuesday. The House of Representatives met way beyond normal hours on Tuesday night as the two political parties pummeled each other over whether S.O.Es are beneficial to the fight against crime and violence, especially murders, which have continued unabated after 1 week of their reimposition in the most volatile areas of the island. The basis of the dispute was the government's decision to expand the lives of 7 new S.O.Es through passage of 2 resolutions: the Emergency Powers, Parishes of St. James, Westmoreland, and Hanover Continuance Resolution 2021, and the Emergency Powers, Specified Areas in Parish of Kingston and St. Andrew Continuance Resolution 2021, which covers 4 of the corporate area's most volatile police divisions: St. Andrew South, Kingston West, Kingston Central, and Kingston Eastern. The S.O.Es were introduced via a proclamation issued by Governor General Sir Patrick Allen on November 14, which becomes inoperable after November 28 unless the government can produce a 2/3 majority in the 21-member Senate today. Going further afield, U.S. Coast Guard warns mariners, tourists, beachgoers in Puerto Rico of hazardous rip currents impacting the island beaches. The Coast Guard warns mariners, tourists, and beachgoers of hazardous weather and sea states that will generate dangerous breaking waves and rip currents around coastal waters of Puerto Rico, including Culebra Islands, from Wednesday night through the Thanksgiving holiday weekend. Most of Puerto Rico beaches are open water beaches without lifeguards. Swimmers are urged to exercise caution and follow local advisories and warning signs at their beach for beach closures and rip currents. And finally, in our headlines across the bridge, guilty verdicts in trial over Ahmaud Arbery's murder were an answer to prayers, family says. Here's what comes next. The family of Ahmaud Arbery reacted with joy and relief on Wednesday after 3 white men were found guilty of charges relating to the 25-year-old black man's murder following a trial steeped in issues such as race and the rights and limitations of self-defense. As the first verdict was being read, Marcus Arbery Sr., Arbery's father, leapt and cheered, according to a pool reporter in the room. "I never saw this day back in 2020. I never thought this day would come," said Ahmaud Arbery's mother, Wanda Cooper Jones, as she stood just outside the courthouse doors following the verdicts. She thanked God and all the people who marched and prayed for her family. "Quez, which you know him as Ahmaud, I know him as Quez. He will now rest in peace," his mother said to the crowd of people gathered who had celebrated upon hearing the news. The verdict was a verdict based on the facts, based on the evidence, and that was our goal. It was to bring that to that jury so that they could do the right thing, said Prosecutor Linda Dunikowski. And they are celebrating with victory in that particular case. That brings our time now to 15 minutes after the hour of 7 o'clock. Those were the headlines across the bridge. Right now, it's time for What the Fact? WTF. You're going to be surprised at this fact this morning. Did you know that the oceans contain almost 200,000 different viruses? You go, what? I go, the fact. Yeah, well, let me tell you. The next time you feel like taking a dip in the big blue ocean, you might not want to think about the fact that the seemingly pristine water is home to almost 200,000 different kinds of viruses. Now, while this may sound scary, there is a microbiologist by the name of Matthew Sullivan over there at the Ohio State University who said recently, having the roadmap of what viruses exist helps us to do a lot of things we'd be interested in to better understand the ocean. My information is that the new count of 200,000 is 12 times higher than what the previous census of marine viruses was showing in 2016. So it is increasing at a very rapid rate. 200,000 plus viruses are to be found in the oceans. My God! What the fact? WTF? The kind of stuff that we carry every morning at around about 7:25. There is an island in the Caribbean where it was said, I won't call the name, that some of the hotels on the coast at some point, maybe in the past, I can't speak for now, but they were using underground piping to dispose of some of the refuse into the waters. I hope that is not existing in Jamaica. Right now, it's time for the proverb of the day. We're going to play the recording, and then we will explain what it's all about in terms of the meaning momentarily. Check this out, our proverb of the day.
And a lack of tongue make cow not talk.
What you say?
And a lack of tongue make cow not talk.
Oh, that you say? That you say? All right. And a lack of tongue make cow not talk. Cow have a heavy tongue. Cow have a whole heap of tongue. Yeah. And a lack of tongue make cow not talk. Well, I'm looking at something that says the translation, which is always the easy part. The translation is, it is not for the lack of a tongue why a cow does not talk. Spice would say, But how many of you could handle the translation for that proverb? And a lack of tongue make cow no talk. It means you don't have to repeat everything you see, hear, or know. You agree with that? Yeah, thumbs up. Okay, cool. So that is what that proverb really means, ladies and gentlemen. It says, "An a lack of tongue make cow no talk." You don't have to repeat everything you see, or hear, or know. Sometimes it's best to just hold it inside. That's what that is all about. Have you ever eaten cow tongue? No? Doing a survey, two persons in the studio. Have you ever eaten cow skin? Yeah? There's a place in St. Elizabeth that puts it in soup. And let me tell you something. It's no normal. Yeah, they say it's good for your back. Is there anyone here who has eaten cow's, you know where I'm going? I'm talking a bull cow, you know. Have you eaten that thing there? Everybody's pointing. Everybody's pointing in a certain direction. No, Richie, if he had eaten that, man, he would not be a little... So you all have not eaten that thing there from the bull cow? No? Okay. Quick survey. End of survey. Now, this morning we have a very special guest, Mr. Dillion Doyle, who is Program Officer from the Hugh Shearer Labour Studies Institute at the University of the West Indies Open Campus. And we want to be talking to him in particular about the upcoming webinar, which is under the theme, Take the Jab or Lose Your Job, Implications for the Employment Relationship. Mr. Dillion Doyle, good morning and welcome. How are you today?
I'm good, Richie B. Good morning.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. First of all, what is the purpose of this webinar, this upcoming webinar?
Well, the University of the West Indies Open Campus, specifically our institute, we have always taken an interest in topical issues, topical national issues.
Yes. And
we have over the years had these types of webinars on any topical issue. I remember we had one on the 1.5 that the government had come with at that time.
Yes, I remember that.
So, right. So any national issue like this, we normally facilitate a discussion between all the stakeholders, being that the institute is really geared towards providing information and conducting research in anything to do with employment relations.
Yes. Labor studies, anything to do with employment relations. And so you're coming up with this one. The topic, though, is of interest. Take the jab or lose your job. Implications for the employment relationship. Explain that further for us.
Well, I mean, we wanted something to grab people's attention. Mm-hmm. And with the rate of vaccination now in the country, and some organizations like, as you probably know, the organizations that probably would have been mandating or asking their staff to take the vaccine or provide a PCR test weekly, and then the court actions that would have followed or ensued from that. So we just wanted to facilitate the discussion, but we wanted to grab people's attention because pretty much it is an interpretation of what is happening when we say take the job or lose the job. What are the implications for the employment relationship? And the employment relationship is one that is really significant, and we think that this will have some tremendous knock-on effects on it going forward. So we wanted to really and truly explore all those issues and options.
Yeah. You mentioned the situation in relation to vaccination. We understand that the government might have to dispose of some over 100,000 doses within 6 days, which will go past date in terms of expiry. So it is a challenge that we're facing, and that is why even a webinar like this is so timely. Who will be some of the presenters at this webinar?
Well, we're trying to have stakeholders from the tripartite all the tripartite members, which the government, the trade unions or their representatives, and the private sector employers. And we also have some people from academia there. So Mrs. Helen Davis White, who is the president of the Jamaica Confederation of Trade Unions, she will be a speaker. We have Mr. Emil Leibo, who is the head of litigation at Doncox. And Dr. Christopher Malcolm, who works out of the Law School, Faculty of Law, at the University of the West Indies. And Ms. Janet Levy, who is an attorney at law, and she works at the UE Legal Aid Clinic.
Yes.
And we probably suspect that the government didn't want to really weigh in on this one, seeing that they have to be an impartial member. We also invited Jamaica Employers Federation. We don't have them on the file, but they might also be present at the webinar and making their views be known.
Okay. So having spoken to in terms of who will be presenting, what about those who you're inviting to be a part of this? Who are you targeting?
Well, we're targeting everybody, all and sundry. So it's open to all workers, anybody who has an interest, any Jamaican. Particularly or primarily persons who are employed, self-employed or otherwise. It's just for information so we can make better decisions and know for workers to really and truly know their rights in terms of where they stand on the vaccination. I heard recently that I think the employees from one entity had withdrawn their court action because they're probably trying to work it out. So we're just trying to get information out there, have the information in a holistic manner where all the parties can come together and all the views contend, and we can chart a better way going forward and preserve and even build back stronger out of this pandemic.
Yeah. So give us some details now. When is it taking place and how can persons actually get involved?
Okay. So it's taking place on Tuesday, November 3rd, and we start at 1 p.m. Registration, there's a flyer we have out, and the registration link is embedded in the flyer. So once you get the flyer, either in PDF or whatever form, JPEG, you just click on that registration link, and because it's going to be virtual, right, via Zoom.
Yes.
So you don't need to come to the university. You just log online, and you should be good to go. Other than that, persons can call the institute at the number listed. Could I give the number?
Yes, you can. Go ahead.
Okay. So the number is 876-470-8891, and we will send the registration link. Also, there's an email address there, which is hlstuei@open.uwi.edu.
Okay.
And once you send us an email or call that number, we'll send the link to you directly, and you can just register and log on at the time.
All right. Thanks for sharing that information. We have a little bit more time, though, Mr. Doyle. Can you tell us, our listeners, a little bit more about the Hugh Shearer Labour Studies Institute? What goes on there, generally?
Well, the Hugh Shearer Labour Studies Institute, as it is known now, that was not the name originally. Mm-hmm. So it's really a partnership of the trade union movement, the University of the West Indies, and the United States government that came together and established the institute in 1963 as the Trade Union Education Institute at the time, and we were tasked with providing labor education for Jamaica and the Eastern Caribbean. But over time, we have evolved in terms of what we do. So now we pretty much provide research. We do research and do training in everything to do with employment relations. So right now we've been doing a whole lot of training and also research. We do research for different entities, public sector, private sector, in terms of surveys of worker satisfaction. We have a lot of courses. Our courses, we have ad hoc courses, and we have more structured courses. Mm-hmm. Courses in productivity, courses in industrial relations. So that's pretty much what we do. We just do training and we actually do the research first, mm-hmm. and the research informs the training that we put out to various entities.
Yeah. All right. Well, I thank you for being our guest this morning. I thank you for the information that you shared, and I wish you well with the upcoming webinar, Take the Jab or Lose Your Job, Implications for the Employment Relationship. Thanks again, Mr. Doyle. Have a good day.
Thank you, Richie B.
All right. Take care. Thank you. There's a story that caught my attention of two pigs that stormed a golf course recently and caused some injuries to some persons. It happened at West Yorkshire. My friends over there in the UK know what I'm talking about. It's a golf club in Calderdale. It was forced to close as loose pigs took over the course and decided to knock balls. Well, no, that is me making that part up. They did not decide to knock no balls around. But yeah, you'd have to assume that if they're out there on the golf course, what else would they have in mind? 2 people have been injured as the pigs charged onto the golf course. It seems they were trying to, shall we say, apprehend the pigs, and the pigs grunted. Then they bit one of the brothers on his leg. He's being treated now for tetanus shots, with tetanus shots and so on. Club professional David McKidd, 40 years of age, said that the 2 black pigs were first spotted on the course on Sunday, injuring a golfer by causing cuts to his legs. And as the story continues, they later returned on Tuesday and injured a male worker at the club who had attempted to usher them off. Now, I guess they put up resistance like Vegas did. So, in trying to usher them off, they retaliated. Both people suffered minor injuries. That is why we even laughing, because it's not like they suffered major injuries. But there could be better things that they could do with those pigs, wouldn't you think? I mean, I'm not one to defend pigs or pork or anything like that, but in this instance, you can't blame the pigs for wanting to take a shot or two on a golf course. Maybe they wanted to go in the Guinness Book of Records as the first pigs to actually, boogie. All right. Let's find out what this caller thinks. Good morning, you're on the air. Welcome to the Secret Sound Game. It's now 8:32. How you doing?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing well. Who's calling?
It's Kimberly from Kingston.
Kimberly's calling and trying already in this new game. It's a new sound, a new game. What's your answer right now, Kimberly?
My answer is peacock.
Peacock. She says it's a peacock. It's not a peacock. I'm sorry about that, Kim. Thanks for trying.
You.
Have a good day and take care. 876-676-4996. That's the number you can call when you want to participate in our Secret Sound game. And like we said, we had a winner yesterday, so it's a new game. It's a new sound that you're hearing. And if you didn't hear it before, let's play it one more time so you can hear it again. Here it is. Alrighty then. It makes me wonder. I don't know the answer. I'm not even looking in the direction of the producer right now because let's find out what this caller thinks. Good morning, you're on the air. Welcome to the Secret Sound game here on Up and Go on the Bridge. Hello.
Morning.
Good morning. Marvin.
Yeah, man, Melvin.
Oh, Melvin. We're trying to find an early winner, Melvin, and you have an opportunity right now.
Yeah.
What is your answer to that Secret Sound?
Give me sound again, can hear.
All right, you won't hear the sound again. Not a problem. Listen carefully. It's a new sound, it's a new game, but $99 US is in the jackpot. What's your answer?
Like one of them machine with the woodwork people them use to them work there.
You mean like the carpenter them?
Yeah, the woodwork, the people that build furniture, yeah.
Oh, furniture maker.
Yeah.
It sounds like one of them tools that them use, you say?
Yeah, man.
No, sir. I know that at all. Sorry about that. Thanks for trying, man, and try again sometime, all right? Woo! I think this one might be a little tricky, you know. You figured it out?
Listen, I don't have a clue what that is. What?
Yeah.
What is that?
You know, in relation to yesterday's game, somebody stopped by me fairly recently, and we were talking about the Secret Sound game, and the brethren said, them feel said that thing there, them feel said that is conch, and is a thing where if you step on it and it you smell the smell stays on you for years almost, and he said, boy, you just feel saying, I said, brethren, I don't know it. So even when Dennis it was who called in yesterday and gave us the correct answer, I had to be looking at the producer, and it was in fact the skunk. Today we have a new game, but no winner. So we'll add $99 Jamaican to the jackpot for tomorrow morning, when the jackpot will stand at $99 US and $99 Jamaican. Right now, at 3 minutes after 9 o'clock, we do have a guest. She's a nurse. Her name is Dayami Odelin, and she's a dialysis nurse at the Diabetes Association of Jamaica. I want to be talking to her this morning about the connection, really, between kidney disease and diabetes. Good morning, Nurse Odelin. How are you today?
Yes, good morning. I'm fine. Thanks, and you?
I'm doing well. We're happy to have you on the program, and I want to start off by commending you and all nurses across Jamaica for the excellent work that you have been doing, helping us through this pandemic. Thank you, Nurse Odelin, and all nurses in Jamaica. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome.
All right. Now, welcome to the bridge. What exactly does a dialysis nurse do, Nurse Odelin?
Well, what we do every day, we have to connect the patients on the machine, those patients that have kidney failure. It's a procedure that helps your blood get filtered by a machine that works like artificial kidneys.
Now, we understand that there is a connection between kidney disease and diabetes. Can you sort of break it down for us?
Yes. Okay. One cause of kidney failure is diabetes mellitus. And diabetes mellitus is a condition characterized by high blood glucose, that is sugar level on the blood. So over time, the high level of sugar in blood damages the million of tiny filtering units within each kidney. This eventually leads to kidney failure. That's the relation. Any other thing?
Right, I got your answer. Thank you. My next question then, Nurse Odelin, would be what can persons do to prevent this situation from occurring?
Well, as a person, to avoid to getting diabetes, first thing that we have to do is to cut sugar and refined carbohydrates from your diet. We can quit smoking. We have to follow a very low carbohydrate diet to avoid sedentary behavior. So we have to work out regularly. We have to lose weight if you are obese. Drink water as your primary beverage. So those are some of the ways that we can avoid getting diabetes mellitus.
If I should ask you to name some of the best ways that we can keep our kidneys healthy, what are some of the tips that you'd pass on this morning to us?
Okay. Well, I can address you to come to our institution, that is the Diabetes Center. Is located in 1 Donna Avenue, Kingston 5, and we can do some tests that we can know if you are diabetic or maybe if you can lead to have any kidney disease.
All right. And you provide services at that location and others across the island, I'm sure.
Yes. We have the major place. Okay, the main place is located here in 1 Donna Avenue. That's the place that we have for that reason.
Well, let me tell you, I want to close where I started, and that is to commend all the nurses, including yourself, for what you have been doing to help our country during this pandemic. I thank you also for providing us with some information, useful information in relation to diabetes and how we can take care of it, especially during this month, which is Diabetes Awareness Month. Thank you once again, Nurse Odelin, and we wish you a wonderful day.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, our time is 7 minutes after the hour of 9 o'clock. You're on Up and Go, and this is The Bridge 99 FM to the world. And at this time, we'd like to connect with Shelz. And Shelz is providing coverage of the Eat Jamaican Day activities, which are currently underway on the lawns of the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries. Good morning, Shelz.
Morning, Richie B. What's up, man?
I'm doing good.
Thank you for. It's always a pleasure hearing from you, man. I'm
yes,
telling
sir.
you the truth, man.
You need to declare right off the bat, though, Shelz. Are you eating Jamaican?
Now, let me tell you this now, Richie. I'm on the mission because right now I'm telling you what I'm seeing. I'm going to tell you what I'm seeing around me in a bit.
Okay.
But I'm seeing a lot of fresh produce, man. I'm encouraged. I am encouraged as a young Jamaican, especially, to eat local. So I'm going to tell you, I'm on a mission for the team.
All right.
Trust
go
me.
ahead. Take it away, son.
Well, good morning, Bridge Nation. Trust me, it's a beautiful vibe. It was partly cloudy earlier, but you know the sun is out to greet us as it should. But you know how it is. 'Tis the season. As Richie said, we are right here on the lawns of the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries as a part of the Eat Jamaican Day campaign. Now, this initiative is to further the entire vibration, which is to grow what we eat and eat what we grow. And Richie, let me tell you this. Bridge Nation, let me tell you this. My Bridge family never had to encourage me to come here, because when I hear good food was going to be, especially local food, me there up on my eye lash, and it's a good vibration. Now, Richie, Bridge Nation, let me tell you what I'm seeing around me. we have the 4-H club next to me. They just sweeten up my nose, man. I say, yo, freshly produced fruits, man. I say orange, man. I say tangerine, man. I say pumpkin, man. I say banana, green banana. I don't know, I say right banana yet, come with a shell some right now. I see some byproducts of our local foods as well. To my left, I have radded with some byproducts as well. And then the part what get me very excited, I see some chef, the chef them have the top hat them and the white coat. Yeah, so some official thing are going on right now. I'm very excited. Let me tell you, I just can't believe I'm here to witness this, because I strictly believe that my generation, I'm at the age where I can still say my age. I'm 27, and I believe that my age group, we're so influenced by globalization. So as a result, when it comes to these things, we see a lot of foreign things being flashed at us every single day. So, when we're in the supermarkets and stuff like that, we're not really encouraged to support local stuff. When we see the foreign goods, we say, yep, that's it for us, that's it for us. So for me today, this is a big deal for me. And I'm looking forward to having some great interviews after the break, Richie, with Miss Julian Crosdale, who's the regional manager of the Jamaica Agricultural Society, and of course the man himself. And I think, Richie, this is the man who's going to be our plug, or link, or direct connection to help us get some good food. Mm-hmm. The minister himself, Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries.
Don't let him get out of your sight.
Well. So it's a great vibration, and I can't believe that I'm here. It's a true honor. And Bridge Nation, just stay tuned, because trust me, it's going to be a great energy. So, Richie, until then, it's back to you in studio, and I'm going to go on the hunt. So trust me, look out for me.
All right. I was trying to tell Shelz, whoever it is that is going to give you the authority to eat what you want to eat, stay close to that individual. If it's the Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries, whoever it is. And that is the first of two connections with Shelz during Up and Go, as he's on the lawns of the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, covering their big Eat Jamaican Day. Reminding you, eat what we grow what we eat. It's good for our economy. Yeah. Yes, Jamaicans. Let's grow what we eat and eat what we grow. Let's celebrate Eat Jamaican month in November. And you can always join them virtually on today, the 25th of November, for the big Eat Jamaican Day. And there's a national sermon that will be on to support our farmers and the economy, and promoting the fact that we should eat what we grow. Shelz will come up later on, I think around about 10:32, with another report from that event, and telling us more of the activities going on there. We also have on our schedule another 10 minutes from now, we should be getting inside of Constitutionally Speaking. That is a part of what we do on a Thursday. Look out for that. Shaggy is definitely in the news in a big way. Early in the morning, a collaboration with dancehall megastar Shaggy, and recorded with Dutch dance pop trio Criss Cross Amsterdam and English singer-songwriter Conor Maynard, and which samples elements of Jimmy Cliff's mega hit song Reggae Nights, has struck platinum. And that is a good look for Shaggy. He made the revelation on Instagram in a post which came out recently. He unveiled the gold certification plaque for the track and indicated that the platinum plaque was to be delivered soon. He says, I ain't no DJ Khaled, but there ain't no shame in my game when I can say another one. Big up, here we go. This is a gold award. No, it's actually platinum. So I'm waiting on the platinum award to come, he explained. And Shaggy went on to say, big up to everyone who was involved in this project. Of course, Grant, who engineered this project, he says thank you to Grant. And he also wanted to take time to big up to the Assailant, who collaborated with him and help him write the song. And all the guys over at Spinning Records. Shaggy wanted to say thank you, and we say congratulations to him. That is not the only matter that we want to congratulate Shaggy on, though, because his song It Wasn't Me is also putting him in the history books. You heard? Yeah. In fact, let me just pull up the story very quickly and tell you that Shaggy's It Wasn't Me now sees him landing a new starring role in an advertisement that is being aired all across the United States of America. The new Discover card, a commercial where they're using Shaggy's It Wasn't Me as the lead song, is now running on U.S. television for Discover card. It's a 15-second ad looking at fraud protection, and it features Shaggy's multi-platinum chart-topping single, It Wasn't Me. All right, ladies and gentlemen, at 10:16 a.m., we now welcome you to Constitutionally Speaking. It's aired at this time every Thursday morning. And we are joined, as per usual, by the Public Defender, Arlene Harrison Henry. Good morning, Public Defender.
Hi, how are you?
I am doing well. And how are you doing today?
Much better for having heard you.
Oh, thank you so very much. And the reciprocal is true, Public Defender.
Oh, you're so kind.
Yes, thank you.
With me today is Mr. Herbert McKenzie, Deputy Public Defender.
Good morning, Mr. McKenzie. How are you doing today?
Thank you, sir.
All right, good to have you as well. Now,
yes. We're so sorry about the mix-up last week. We're not sure what happened, but the apologies really to you, the station, and of course, more importantly, our listeners,
because I tell you, they were looking forward, because all throughout the morning we were telling them about the topic, and many persons were even messaging us with the fact that they were really anticipating the discussion, which in fact we will accommodate today. And we're looking at that topic, constitutional rights of persons detained during a state of emergency. This is a very topical issue. How do you want to start it, Public Defender?
I want to start it by first saying what are the rights that are impacted on that state of emergency. And just as a reminder, Richie, there are 7 states that have been so declared. 3, St. James, Hanover, Westmoreland. And in the Kingston area, Kingston East, Kingston Central, Kingston West, and St. Andrew South. Now, the rights that are impacted are significant rights. First, freedom of movement. Broadly speaking, liberty. The other right that is severely, and I mean, you know, the right is removed from you, is the right to be immediately taken before a court. So the normal process of someone being taken into custody and charged and taken before a court.
Yes.
For due process, as we understand it, charged, led, taken to court, informed of what you're charged for, statements provided, and so on. All of that has been removed. So what is put in its place is detention, a scheme of detention under the regulation, where for a period of up to 14 days, as I'm recalling the regulation, you can remain in custody upon the recommendation of a senior police officer. I think it's a senior superintendent.
Mm-hmm.
So that would normally be pending investigation. So the regulations themselves carry a scheme of detention, a regime of detention. It starts out with a 7-day detention, then that can be extended to 14 days, and you can be detained for the entire period of the state of emergency. Now, importantly, is the establishment in the Constitution of the Emergency Powers Review Tribunal. And that is a tribunal normally consisting of 3 persons: the chairman, is appointed by the Chief Justice, and 2 others are appointed by the Governor General.
Mm-hmm.
Now, so a detainee coming in can say, as he comes in, I want to go before the review tribunal, the Emergency Power Review Tribunal. So, Richie, what we have seen in the past is the detention of many young persons, young men in the main, and they're released without charge. So they come in, they are processed, which means photograph and fingerprint, and then they are released. We've had issues with that in terms of the logistical arrangements, such as accommodation for detainees, food, bedding, bathroom facilities, visiting hours, and visiting from families. Because remember, for you to come into custody, you have to be reasonably suspected of having committed
an offense. So the detainees themselves, can they seek recourse through the courts under the S.O.Es? Tell us about that.
Absolutely. So they can seek recourse. It is the position of this Commission of Parliament that habeas corpus, which roughly translated means bring the body, is not ousted by the regulations or by the declaration of a state of emergency. Now, we know, Richie, that the country is plagued with rampant criminality. We know, too, that our police officers can't speak for the JDF, but I hear the police. And we have seen that inadequate arrangements are made for them in terms of, the latest one, and this is a strong one, they are not paid for their overtime, the overtime work
that they carry out. Yes.
These police officers are by and large young men too, who have to stand up in the sun hot. Mr. Mack wants to add something.
Yes, please come in, Mr. McKenzie.
Yes. Stand up in the hot sun or the night cold and take abuses from some of our more unruly citizens. So we believe they should be properly remunerated. Mm-hmm. Now, one thing we should mention, because you had asked about recourse to the courts.
Yes.
Now, outside of a state of emergency, if a person is detained for a protracted period, as he is likely to have been detained in a state of emergency, he could go to court and sue for false imprisonment. By virtue of the law that passes to establish state of emergency, he no longer can do that. If the police can justify that they had reasonable cause to pick him up, it's going to be hard for him now to sue for false imprisonment. And that's part of why the public defender said to you that the right that is most severely affected is liberty.
Mm-hmm.
So, Richie, in our last monitoring of states across Jamaica, and by the way, it's also hard work for us because we have limited staff. But nonetheless, it is part of our responsibilities to the people of Jamaica to monitor and inspect how persons are being kept. Under the last regime of states of emergency, there were wide and very broad and long nets thrown out and many youngsters were caught in that net. So it wasn't a targeted. They weren't targeted operations based on intelligence. And what is emerging in this national conversation, and we speak out there, is really the need for greater investment in our national security apparatus, including intelligence, including technology. Fact of the matter is, and we have said it before, the police and soldier cannot do it alone. We, the citizens, know who are committing the crime, and we need to say what we know. Now, the fact is, based on our experience, many young men come in to detention only for the purpose of being processed. And we are saying that is unlawful. We support every legitimate police and security force operation to pick up those people who are creating the mayhem and murders across the small space that we occupy. That impacts all of us. 16-year-old girl killed, 12 killed overnight. So, what we say and what our initial response was, that we would have been more comfortable as a commission of funds. We would have been more comfortable had we awaited the Court of Appeal decision on, and you would know that there's a decision that is on appeal.
Pending.
In relation, pending appeal. I don't think a trial date has yet been set.
Yes.
I know there's a case management date. We would have been more comfortable with waiting to hear from the court, because in the court rendering its decision, it also offers opinion and guidance to the process. Because when we have the states of emergency, the difference between a state of emergency and a joint military police operation is that under the state of emergency, you can detain somebody. Under the joint police military operation, of course, persons can be detained, but that is under ordinary law. It is not a regime of 14 days and then possibly to the end of the emergency period. What we have seen, and this is our experience, and others would have different experience. What we have seen is that communities welcome police and soldiers. But we don't need police and soldiers together working in the community. That can only be achieved under a state of emergency. Absolutely not. Because without states of emergency,
yes,
we have had security operations which consist of police and soldiers. The differentiating line is the powers of detention under the regulations.
We definitely, as a country, need to get on top of this monster of crime in our society. But at the same time, there are some challenges in terms of the exercise of fundamental rights and freedoms, some of which might be entirely suspended or partially suspended. And I think that is where the problem comes in. Wouldn't you say, Public Defender?
Yes, that is indeed so.
Yes.
And that is part of the reason why it has become such a politically divisive issue.
Yes. We spoke with a member of parliament today from the PNP side who was totally in opposition to the extension of the S.O.Es, and we know that there's a lot of lively, active debate in parliament recently, and this is why today's program is so important. I really want to thank you. What would be your closing thoughts today on the subject that we've been looking at, Madam Public Defender? Constitutional rights of persons detained during a state of emergency. What do you want to leave with us today?
I want to leave with a sobering thought, which is that even under a state of emergency, the rule of law exists, which simply means that if I am detained, it has to be pursuant to law. It cannot be for the purpose of being processed. It cannot be by virtue of where I live. So I live in a lower socioeconomic community and I'm on the corner. It must be pursuant to law because a state of emergency does not remove the existence of our Constitution and our laws in this country. And it is the rule of law and only the rule of law that can keep us safe.
Very, very powerful way to end the segment. I think I hear Mr. Mackenzie wanting to just say something quickly. Mr. Mackenzie?
And just after that, due process still prevails.
Yes.
In the class of arms.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the information you shared today, and we wish you both a wonderful day. Looking forward to next week, Thursday, 10:15, when we'll do it all over again in Constitutionally Speaking. Thank you, Public Defender, and thank you, Deputy Public Defender.
Our pleasure.
Our pleasure, too. Thank you so much. All right, that was Constitutionally Speaking, and it happens every Thursday morning at 10:15 right here on Up and Go on the Bridge 99 FM to the world. Right now, though, it's time for us to reconnect with Shelz, who is covering the Eat Jamaican Day activities happening on the lawns of the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries. Now, I just want Shelz to know that we heard him in the first report speaking about the things that he's surrounded by, like fruits and vegetables and all kinds of good things. I don't think I need to tell him what address we are at and the fact that all of those things are stuff that we love. So we're expecting that when he's returning to base, that he'll have a lot of those things in his possession, or else. Good morning again, Shelz.
Well, that was the calmest threat I've ever received, Richie. But
You're
yes,
read,
I'm on it.
You're read between the lines. Over to you, bro.
Yes, man, respect. Bridge Nation, I know you guys get very excited when you hear that Shelz is in the streets, but today I am here at the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, on the lawn of Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, for the Eat Jamaican Day National Celebration. Now, the whole vibration, the whole essence, the whole vibe is to grow what you eat and eat what you grow. And this has been a campaign that's been going on for 18 years. Now in its 18th year. Can you believe that? And right next to me is a lovely woman who's going to help me further understand the vibration, further understand the energy behind growing what you eat, eating what you grow. The regional manager of the Jamaica Agricultural Society, Miss Julian Crosby. Welcome to the Bridge 99.
Hi, good
morning.
Good
yes,
morning.
man. How are you doing?
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
No, the pleasure is all ours. Pleasure is all ours.
Excellent to be in Kingston.
Oh,
it's not hot, so yes. Hopefully, it's going to be a great day.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
So as was said, my name is Julian Crossdale, and I am the regional manager.
Mm-hmm.
I cover the eastern region for the Jamaica Agricultural Society.
Right.
Now, today is November 25th, which is celebrated as the National Eat Jamaican Day. Now, on November 25th, 2003, the late Governor General Sir Howard Cook declared this day as Eat Jamaican Day and should be celebrated annually. Now, you know, our culture, beautiful culture.
Of course.
Don't even mention our food. And without our farmers, how could we have all those beautiful products? You know, the campaign was basically forged on, one, to lift the morals of our farmers and their communities. Two, to basically reposition the Jamaica Agricultural Society as a viable organization to basically build up our farmers, have them farm sustainable groups, and maintain this sense of community between the agricultural sector and our farmers, and also to celebrate the glorious Jamaican culture and to promote linkages between our farmers and tourism and other sectors. So that's basically a brief overview of what the Eat Jamaican campaign is about.
And would you say that those objectives, those achievements you guys set out to achieve, have you guys been successful?
It has been 18 glorious years, and we have definitely been successful. We have a myriad of success stories as it relates to the Eat Jamaican campaign. We have had farmers come to the Eat Jamaican. I mean, this is just a small,
I can imagine.
Very small compared to what we have had over the years.
Right.
And we have had linkages forged. We have had farmers. I don't know if you know Cal's Ketchup.
Of course.
It was at one of the Eat Jamaicans Day campaign that there was that linkage and that partnership was made between one of our farmers and now Cal's is this big brand.
Of course.
So I can speak of a myriad of success story as it relates to the Eat Jamaican campaign. Yes.
And that's a blessing. Now listen, Bridge Nation, Miss Julian Crosby is a very busy lady today. And actually, as a matter of fact, she has a speech to make right now. As a matter of fact, at the Eat Jamaica Day National Ceremony. So thank you so much for taking the time out to reason with me.
Thank you for having me.
And just enjoy the rest of your day.
And same to you and your listeners.
And please secure some food for me and the Bridge Nation, please.
I will see what I can do.
Richie B, I got slide tackle me, so please.
I will see what I can do. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, all the best.
All right. Reggie, you see, I'm looking out for you guys. Okay, I'm looking out for you guys. Yeah. But the hunt is still on. But until then, it's back to you in studio.
On that note, if you want another report at the rate you're going, if you want another report, I could squeeze one in because we might get even more than we bargained for.
All right. Richie,
thank you, Shelz. Take care, bro.
Oh, man. Yeah,
all right. He took me seriously. Started trying to get some of the fruits and food for us. And I think Shelz knows that when I get off here at 11 o'clock, I'm off the compound by 11:15. So he knows what he's doing. He's a smart chap.
Richie B, the party master, on Up and Go, The Bridge, 99 FM.